So, the Power Rangers franchise has been doing pretty well for itself the past few years, besides the 2017 movie bombing and having to reboot it again for Netflix, but, still not bad. And, alongside that reboot, we're getting a bunch of veteran Rangers back for the 30th anniversary special, which is kind of exciting. Zach, Billy, Aisha, Rocky, Kat,
Adam!
Some of these people we haven't even seen in roughly 30 years, but, that tends to happen when you pick Rap City Street Kids.
This was a gift for you.
But doesn't it mean a lot to you?
Yes. And so does friendship.
Although I think Power Rangers has been a little too liberal with the crossovers lately, considering they consider every 5 years to be some type of special event, maybe because of a ratings dip, but I can't be certain. And I'm not gonna act like every crossover is bad or anything, but I'm definitely not saying they're perfect either. Like, even in the last decade since the Neo-Saban era where Nickelodeon took over, a lot of them just sort of blend together. Or maybe that's just coming from somebody who just occasionally pokes his head in and sees what's happening without actually knowing what's happening as of late. For right now, I want to give props and talk about the one that stands out from the rest, the one that started it all, Forever Red.
I was sent to recruit you for an important mission. The fate of the entire Earth is at stake. We need your help.
Okay.
I can't even begin to tell you how many times I watched this special growing up. I had it on a best of DVD and recorded it off of a VHS from TV, including Joe's Surprise Party and the premiere episode of Jimmy Neutron. Hold your applause.
You are back to Enhance Attack on the network that lets it all hang out, Nickelodeon.
Even people of my generation who know nothing about Power Rangers knew this happened. It was just the coolest thing at the time, especially if you were a hyped up 6-year-old superfan like I was. But then again, who's to say I'm not now?
For the first time ever, all 10 Red Rangers from all 10 seasons will unite.
Let's do it, guys. 4 for top, 1 on power, roll that fist!
To save the world.
The plot centers around all 10 Red Rangers being recruited on short notice by Tommy to fight the remains of the evil Machine Empire that planned to rebuild it with Zed's hidden Zord, Serpentera.
Who is that? That's Tommy.
Which sounds pretty awesome, but it does leave me with questions. How are there still remnants of the Machine Empire when all the evil was wiped out from the universe at the end of In Space? I know more evil finds its way within every new season, but since they imply this existed before all the evil was wiped out, in a nutshell, created for plot contrivance. Yeah, whatever gets them to the moon faster.
I present the Astro Megaship Mark II, fresh off the construction yards of KO-35. The fastest spaceship in the galaxy.
I really appreciate that Tommy has a lot of wisdom in this episode. Like, almost everything he says sounds like something Zordon would have said, and that knowledge and wisdom has been passed on to him.
This is going to be a very dangerous mission, but I can't force you to go. This is a decision you have to make on your own.
It really does show a lot of growth, and I really like seeing how, much these characters have grown up.
But I will go wherever I must to protect the Earth.
Same goes for us.
Count me in.
It's not even a question.
We've come a long way since Teenagers with Attitude. Also, holy shit, looking back at this, it's so cool to see all the Red Rangers again. Just 5 minutes in, and there's plenty of great nods for the fans. The Machine Empire are reused suits from the Beetleborgs, meeting up at the Nasada spaceport who helped the Turbo Rangers get to space at the end of Season 5, Bulk and Skull running a juice bar, and playing with the Psycho Rangers chessboard.
Oh, man! I'm still geeking out about it!
And each Ranger gets a nice proper introduction. Andros discovering the villain's ploy, Carter picks up Cole reunites with Wes and Eric, TJ returns as the Turbo Ranger, Tommy stepping out of the shadows and into the light, much like Green to White, and even for what little we see of Leo, that's some dope trailer fodder. But the best has yet to come.
Wasn't there another Red Ranger here on Earth?
I was hoping he'd show up, but I guess he couldn't make it.
Honey, I'm
Oh, now it's a real reunion. Before it became a regular thing for Tommy to keep coming back into the franchise, and before Jason's few returns, seeing them back together since the Turbo movie and acting as Rangers again is awesome.
You guys weren't gonna do this without me, were you? So you must be the new guy.
Hi, I was born and raised in the jungle, so I'm just pretending like I know who the fuck you are.
I'm cool.
Also, no real reason why it's only Red Rangers needed for this mission, but we can just assume it's easier to get them rather than 6 members of each of the past 7+ seasons. But even then, that's a stretch, because Leo is barely in this due to a problem with the last time he was on the show.
cool. A flashback.
During the filming of the Lost Galaxy crossover with Lightspeed, both actors Danny Slavin and Amy Roll walked off set in protest of a pay cut, and most of the footage was either butchered or replaced with a stand-in or replacement voice actor. But Slavin did come back for Forever Red because he supposedly owed a favor to one of the producers, and apparently showed up a little bit late into filming, explaining why we don't see him in crowd shots besides being green screened in.
Nigga, you gay.
As well as the original actor for Orko not appearing for some reason, only appearing morphed, but was also the extra voice for Leo in the Lightspeed episode.
You're in for a big disappointment. Are you okay?
But honestly, I'm all for it since the original voice synth for the Alien Rangers was awful. Look, I know they're from Kevin Costner land, but why do they have to sound like they're underwater?
Power of water! Power of light! Powers unite!
Hey, Pinot! Wait for me!
Red Alien Ranger! Yeah!
Yeah, Orko sounds like he's recording in a trash can, but it sounds a lot better now, don't it? And we haven't even touched upon the fight sequences yet, my lord!
You know, if you miss King Mondo that much, I promise we can help you join him.
God damn!
There's two major fight sequences, one unmorphed with 8 Red Rangers, and the morphed fight with all 10, and they're both pretty damn awesome. The unmorphed fight is nice enough considering those were practically extinct at this point in the show.
Damn, boy, he's thick, boy!
Each has their own distinct fighting style, alternating between flips and kicks to snagging weapons and really using the environment to their advantage. And Carter just whips out a fucking gun. But then Leo and Orko show up, you know, after Cole being a fucking idiot.
Stop! You fool!
And the morphed fight is every other kind of awesome. Stylized editing with slow motion, you know, before 300 did it, pairing Rangers up with similar styles, whether blasters, swords, or physical prowess. A new guy tag teaming with the OG, and some really ambitious Matrix bullet time effects for a show such as this. Some of the Beetleborgs were actually voiced by the actors who played Zack, Catherine, and Kai. But then, the last 5 minutes are where the problems start to show.
We have to take out Serpentera before it leaves the moon.
Wild Force Rider!
Oh Jesus, the effects just went from respectable to just butt-ugly Martians. And because Cole's ingenious plan to charge into immediate danger with no strategy worked so well before, he does it again.
That gives me an idea.
Here's a good idea. Have a point.
And I hate to say it, but it works.
I have failed you and the Empire!
So this greatest Zord ever built, with the power of a Death Star to nuke a fucking planet, was destroyed by driving a motorcycle through it?
That's just lazy writing.
And if you think for 1 second I'm gonna believe that something with the power of a Death Star has one major design flaw that could result in the whole thing blowing up... Seriously though, by that logic, you could have Harry and Lloyd on a moped do the job.
Only redeem yourself! That sure is warm.
So yeah, the climax was pretty damn rushed. Mostly at the fault of Disney for running out of money and asking Bandai to finance it, but only if they advertised a toy. And in that moment alone, the special that was trying to be a two-parter shot itself in the foot. But it does sort of make up for a charming one-shot ending where each of the Rangers are trying to one each other up.
I was the one that replaced him.
Are you kidding me? I was the one doing all the work while he was at the juice bar kissing on Kimberly.
So in short, Forever Red does a lot of good as a blueprint of an anniversary special. It does have its flaws solely from production complications, but otherwise there is a whole lot of love and heart put into this special. It celebrates the Rangers that came before, all the actors are having a great time working together, and all the little nods that we've come to love about Power Rangers in those 10 years are showcased here. These guys still show up for the Forever Red panels at Power Morphicon and are still deeply rooted within the fanbase, and it's a beautiful thing, really. You know, I've never been able to afford Power Morphicon, but, you know, whatever. It's just really awesome, and honestly, it's gonna be hard for them to ever top this anniversary special, even after it's been out for 20 years now. But, you know, there's always that glimmer of hope. But either way, I'm looking forward to the future of this franchise, like I always have.
I gotta admit, you did well, rookie.